Hey everyone, I'm gonna wait just a few seconds for some folks to roll in. Welcome to the third Women of Woodworking Wednesday. This is really exciting. There we go, getting some folks in now. Hello, welcome. Don't be shy, say hello and where you're from. Hi. So yes, this is the third Women of Woodworking Wednesday live session. We've had an amazing first two. The first one, we had 727 Builds and Mary May drop in. The second one, we had the Florida School of Woodwork and also Damn Rad Designs stop by and chatted for a little while. Hopefully the connection is a little bit better tonight. So bear with me if it does cut out. I will just go right back and go back live. So just hang tight if it does drop. So from Iowa, hello, Freeman Furnishings. Thanks for saying hi. So if you're able to work on anything, tell me what you're able to work on. If you're able to get to your shop, access your shop. I know a lot of people are out of work right now, but hopefully people are staying busy. On that note, this live stream is every Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. And again, I just welcome whoever wants to drop in and join me on the live video. I do have kind of a list of updates and topics I want to discuss, but at any time, if you want to join in, just say, hey, I want to join in, and I'll invite you to join the live and we can chat and you can talk about whatever you want to talk about, promote yourself. This is all about you guys. So but again, this live stream is every Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. You can also catch me Monday through Fridays. I'm kind of the moderator / producer for my husband Joseph's live stream at his account at JWT Woodworks. So I'm there Monday through Friday, and I just did another Q&A with him today, even though I don't think I got any questions. It was just mostly talking about tools. So, but then also you can catch Mary May over on Twitch at 1 p.m. Eastern Monday through Friday for some wood carving. So lots of free educational opportunities out there. If you are doing a live stream or some sort of virtual class, please let me know so I can spread the word and also promote you on here. So yeah, definitely take advantage of those free opportunities. Those are pretty sweet. So Freeman Furnishing says power carving projects when kids will let me. Yeah, that's a big one. I have to kind of literally lock my door so I can sneak away down here even at 7:30. So I feel that one. But yeah, newcomers, if you're just joining us, don't be shy. Say hey and what you're working on and where you're from. Also, if at any time you want to join me on the live, you're welcome. Just let me know and I'll send you a request. So, and again, last week, sorry, I have my computer here with my little cheat sheet. I just had a lot to cover and I wanted to make sure that I covered everything. So, last week we announced our giveaway winners. Whenever we hit 3K followers, I wanted to do a giveaway and got some awesome prizes. Got delayed, so we just wrapped that up last week, and I actually posted today. I did a post announcing the winners. So if you are one of those winners, please get in touch, or I'll be in touch with you, and that way I can make sure your prizes get to you. I know things are kind of crazy right now, so bear with me, give me some time, and we'll be sure to get these awesome prizes to you. So and congrats again, and thanks to all of our amazing sponsors and woodworkers that contributed. Just fantastic prizes. So hopefully we'll do that again soon, maybe when we hit like 5K. So, you know, let's get going so we can do another giveaway like that, because that was really awesome. We got some really cool stuff. Something else I wanted to touch on, a lot of people contact me on how to be featured, which there are several ways that you can kind of be featured here on the project, and I'll go over those first. So I do regular posts on Instagram, and usually those are tying to either a writing feature that I'm doing, or some sort of event or something kind of special going on. My stories I tend to post to a little bit more frequently. My Feature Friday stories are just curated by me over time, and kind of how I select woodworkers and makers to feature. That is also how I do Feature Friday. So I just kind of browse certain tags, and again, using the Women of Woodworking hashtag, that will guarantee that I see it. I kind of browse through the other ones that are related just because they're really popular, and sometimes you meet or see some really great stuff that you would otherwise miss. But hashtag Women of Woodworking, I check that pretty frequently. Tagging on there, I select my Feature Fridays through there. I am also just starting to share a lot of things beyond Feature Friday on my stories, because there's a lot of really awesome things being made right now, and I know a lot of us are isolated, so sharing more of that content just feels right to me right now. So even more of an incentive to use the hashtag, because I pick a lot from there. So that being said, when I started this project, it was originally kind of a writing project for me. I contacted different women woodworkers from around the world, and did these great long features and had them send in pictures. And I wanted to kind of consolidate that a little bit. At the same time, some of y'all have some of the most amazing stories to tell, and there have even been some folks I've had to break up into 2 different stories. So I do try to take it on a case-by-case basis. That being said, I am very genuinely looking for new people to feature. I've kind of come up with 5, I call them my fast 5 questions for people to answer, and then submit 3 to 5 photos. And I do ask that one of those photos is of you. If you're uncomfortable in front of the camera, we can definitely work that out. But basically that's what I'm looking for. And I'm looking for women, non-binary, transgender woodworkers. And also I'm looking for all skill levels and types. I'm looking for furniture makers, I'm looking for turners, I'm looking for carvers, I'm looking for people all around the world. I'm looking for students, I'm looking for hobbyists, I'm looking for professionals. I find a lot of inspiration in the stories of everyday people and sharing those stories. So I would really like to represent all demographics that I can possibly represent. And if you go to my website, ktthompson.com, and you can see the Women of Woodworking tag, I've already had so many people from around the world participate, and I would just like to continue that. And I'm excited, and it's funny how these things work out, because I've wanted to add some video content to this for a long time, and these streams just seem like a natural progression. So I will be saving these streams and also adding them to YouTube. So that will also be another point of reference, that if we, talk to you on here, then that will be one other way that you can kind of direct your followers to kind of, see your chat with us or whatever we include about you on here. So that being said, get in touch. I am looking to feature more people, and I'm trying to decide what I want to do, because the features just end up being what they are. They're long sometimes. I am thinking of moving them from my website to another platform, just for more traffic and visibility, and also just people may recognize a different website more than they would recognize my own. So there are some changes happening, and it is important to point out at this current time that this project is completely volunteer by me. I don't make any money off of the project currently. It would be great if I did. It would be great if I could somehow make money to contribute back to the community. But at this time, this is a donation of my time and energy. So I just do what I can when I can. Let's see, Freeman Furnishings. Make sure to check out the Maker Mom podcast. I work hard to have representation of all kinds of moms who are makers. Awesome. So I'm guessing that is your podcast, and that sounds pretty familiar. I'll definitely check that out, and a shout out to you. So check her out, Freeman Furnishings, and the podcast. I'll have to give that a listen. That's awesome. So great. Thank you. Awesome. All right. Cool. Yes, I'll definitely check that out. That's awesome. So, And it's interesting you bring up the Maker's Mom podcast. That is definitely something that I haven't talked about a whole lot over here. But I know that a lot of us are parents. And that is, something else that I would like to share a little bit more of, like, I don't want to say like woodworking families, because I know woodworking families like ours may not exist, but don't, basically, like, if you are a mom and you're working in your garage and going to craft fairs on the weekends and stuff, like, don't hesitate to get in touch, because your work is just as valid and just as important, and so is your story. So that's awesome. So, okay, Kendra of Damn Rad Designs has been on. Awesome. Cool. Awesome. We tried, last week we had Kendra. She joined us very briefly, but the connection was terrible. So she got dropped a few times. But yes, I'm very glad to have met Kendra, and it seems like she's very active in the woodworking community. So that's really awesome. Cool deal. And again, if anybody ever wants to join in on this chat, like, just let me know and I can send a request for you to join the live. I know not a lot of people want to just jump on in front of the camera in front of folks, and I'll be quite honest, I'm exhausted today myself. So basically, don't be shy. You're not alone. But I'd be delighted to meet some of you and see your shops or what you're working on, and just ask you a few questions and get to know you a little bit. So don't hesitate. Some other news kind of going on in the woodworking community, speaking of kind of educational live streams. So again, in our first Women of Woodworking Wednesday, Mary May dropped in and we just had a very quick late night chat. That was our late night session. But last week we did have Kate from the Florida School of Woodworking join us briefly. And I'm delighted to share that Mary May is going to be offering a virtual, I think it's a beginner's wood carving course through the Florida School of Woodwork. So it's nice to see Kate and Mary working together. So check that out. I think it's $100. And I know the dates I think are like April 21st through May 6th. But basically, you get a lot of one-on-one time virtually with Mary and a lot of carving expertise. And so if you're stuck in the house and are able to do that, I highly recommend it. Anytime that you can learn from Mary, take advantage of it. So it's awesome that she's working with Kate to do that. I did briefly add a clip of Kate on here with us last week to my YouTube channel. If you search Women of Woodworking, it'll pop up my YouTube channel, Katie Thompson. But again, the connection was so terrible. So I don't know if, again, anybody wants to join in tonight, but I'd love to have a chat with you. Hopefully the connection will be better. It's been okay so far, knock on wood. So, but yes, so another good virtual learning opportunity. And there's just been some really awesome things I've seen happening in the community right now, especially with like the brush mania going on. Aspen Golan, who was one of our sponsors for our giveaway, and she tunes in occasionally, did this like step-by-step instructional. I believe it's in her highlights now. You can go back on basically how to make a brush out of some scraps and some household items. So I know a lot of us, again, are stuck at home, can't get to the shop, or missing materials, or just need something to keep our hands busy. Definitely go check that out, because that was really awesome, and I've loved seeing all the different brushes that people have come up with. That's been a lot of fun. So, here we go. We got a request. Let's see. Hello again. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Please share your name and where you're from with everyone again.
I'm Sandra with 727 Builds, and I'm in St. Petersburg, Florida.
Awesome. Well, how are you doing tonight, Sandra?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. So just kind of breezing through my schedule here. So I'm really glad that you you called in. It was nice to take a break. So, well, last time we talked, you showed us some of like the beer tap handles that you had. And we also talked, again, that was a few weeks ago, kind of about everything that's been going on with the isolation. So what are you working on now? How are things kind of going with your shop
Well,
these
now I'm
days?
working on some bar tops for a coffee shop. They're, they're delaying their opening, but they're still planning to open. Um, so we're working on their bar tops, and there's two of them, and so let's see. This one I'm further along. We've got five different colors of stain that we've
Okay.
done with it. I mixed all those. And so I got all of these stained, and I'll be gluing this up and getting it all, and then doing the border around it. And then over here is the other one that's 154 inches long. So I've got it all
Yeah.
ready. So tomorrow I'm going to be staining all of those boards.
That'll take you a whole day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So awesome.
Yeah. So
Well, good. Well, good. Well, I'm glad that you're keeping busy. Anything else you've got going on, or is that that's taking up quite a bit of square footage there?
yes, it is. We've got this, and then the coffee shop. They're roasting their own beans, so they're going to be distributing their own cold brew. So they want tap
Ooh,
handles to go to give to the clients,
perfect.
and so we're going to be doing those. I'm be working on some prototypes for them. But the name of their brand is Driftwood. So we're thinking of trying to make it kind of like a piece of driftwood. So we'll see what we
Interesting.
do with that.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, anything else kind of going on you want to share? Do you have what are your thoughts so far on isolation? Has the phone kind of stopped ringing at all, or what kind
Um,
of lays ahead for you after this, do you think?
we still have enough in the pipeline. We have a reception desk that we need to start as soon as we finish this, for a co-working space.
Hmm.
Luckily, they are considered essential, to be able to open.
Uh-oh. She must have timed out.
Oh, are you there now?
I think you're back.
Okay. All of a sudden, I just saw the little circle spinning. I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah. So
So
no,
yeah,
the
we have.
last I think we heard you were working on a reception desk, and that was something you needed to start as soon as you were done with the coffee shop
Yes,
tops.
yeah. And then we have another designer that wants a round booth for her in her customer's home near their bar area. So that'll be
Excellent.
a neat project too.
Awesome.
And so yeah, we still have, like for us, we don't need a lot of volume, so we have enough to, you know, keep us going. And that, um,
Sure.
for us, the struggle, we have two kids that are doing schooling at home and trying to balance that and help
Yes.
them when they need the help. And
Yes. So that was kind of, and I like that Freeman Furnishings asked about, or, mentioned their podcast, because that's definitely been a challenge for me being able to get away and kind of work, because my husband and I are both self-employed. So we're both used to working from home, but we're not used to working from home with children, and at least not all the time. So I tend to take the morning shift. He takes the afternoon shift after we do a furniture making live together at 2 p.m. And then they have worn me out by dinner time. So that's why this is kind of at 7:30, because it's just right before I start to really
yes,
really run out of energy. But I do miss the late nights kind of in the studio, in the shop. Um, that is definitely one part of my routine that I've had to give up as a mom. I've got to be able to get up with them in the morning.
yes, and make sure they're
So
doing what they need to.
yes, yes. So how old are your kids?
They're 12 and 16.
12 and 16. Okay. So a little bit older. But
Yeah.
you've got basically two teenagers, so
Yes. Yes, and they're pretty self-sufficient with their work, but then I get the email from the school each day telling me what math classes they were absent from because maybe they didn't sign in the right way or something, and
oh yeah.
and that so
So
it's just keeping on top of that and making sure these things
yeah.
are turned in.
Yeah, that's having to balance a lot. So now, is 727 Builds your full-time job, or is this kind of your nighttime job? How is this working into your career
This
as
is my
well?
full-time job.
Oh, okay, awesome. Awesome. So for you, the office, stayed open.
Yes. Yes. I didn't have any change other than having more people like you, having more people around.
Yes, yes. So, well, while I've got you on, I'm going to put you on the spot and ask you, what would your favorite tool be?
Um, let's see, I'm looking around.
It's one of those things, it's like when you stop to think about it, you're like, what is?
I would say maybe the bandsaw right now. It's so versatile and I can do so much with it. So that gives me a lot of opportunity to try. I do a lot of different things with that. So
You can. That is often like, I know that's a question that my husband gets a lot as a woodworking instructor, kind of like, how do you start a shop and when you're kind of starting out from scratch, how do you do that? Please use all 5 questions. Um, oh, one of my friends has a podcast, and I guess I asked one of the questions on their 5 questions list. Yes, it is one of their questions. Anyways, but yes, a bandsaw is one of the tools that we always recommend. If you're going to invest in something and you're just starting out, a bandsaw is a good place to start. So I like that answer. I like that, and it kind of fits in what we've been talking about. You have to be versatile right now.
yes,
So there
yeah,
you
that's what
go.
everyone's learning, having to transition their businesses to make it work.
Mhm. Yes, yes. One thing that everybody kind of wonders is like, is life going to go back to normal as we know it? And I'll be really interested as far as careers go, how many people transition to working from home or decide to become self-employed as a result of this. I know um, whenever I graduated from college, it was December of 2009. So we were at the very down of another economic crash, and so I had to start out freelancing, and that was quite the opposite of what I had prepared to do. You had kind of been told, do your internships and get your job after you graduate, and that just wasn't the way it was. I had to make my own career. So I know a lot of people that gravitate to woodworking kind of have that similar spirit, and that's definitely one thing that drew me to it. So I'll be interested to see how our craft changes. I hope that we won't lose a lot of people as a result of this. I worry a lot about big shops that require crews and all these things. I know construction is definitely um, it's listed as one of the essential businesses, but I don't think there's any doubting that everything's been affected by some things being shut down. So hopefully it will be for the better. Um, but I commend you sticking through this and teaching kids and doing all that. Man, I got lucky. See, mine are 3 and 4, and if I had, we kind of do play school, preschool play things kind of still. If I had to teach math right now, wouldn't
Yes,
be
you've always
good.
been my friend.
So, and hello, welcome new joiners. Okay, so yeah, there's Joseph. He says bandsaw is one of the most versatile power tools in the shop. I literally quoted you, probably because I've sat in on so many classes. So, well, awesome. Well, anything else you want to promote, Sandra? Do you have a website? Obviously, people can find you through here on Instagram, but is there any other place you'd like to direct people beyond your
Well,
Instagram?
we're going to be launching our channel our YouTube channel later this month. So
Awesome.
we'll be starting to put videos out there of our builds and just
Okay.
can see behind the scenes and some of the design and some of the building process.
Well, that's awesome. So, who is the marketing guru?
It's just my husband and I, both of us together, and we've just been
Nice.
doing a lot of research and that, and so we had a
Awesome.
furniture store for 5 years, and
Okay.
we've learned a lot and made a lot of mistakes, learned a lot with that, and so at least we have some lessons in that we can apply going forward with this.
Sure. Sure. So yeah, you're not completely new to the game as far as owning your own business goes. So,
Yeah,
so
we've done some, so
awesome. Well, I'll be sure to look for you on YouTube. And my channel again is Katie Thompson. And if you search Women of Woodworking, it should pop up. I'm debating on starting a separate channel just for these videos. I haven't decided yet. I've reserved it, but I haven't decided what to do quite yet. So, so no website or anything like that. You'll just have your
Well,
Instagram and then YouTube coming.
yeah, our website is 727builds.com,
Mm.
and we have on our schedule to launch that tomorrow. So
Oh,
should
awesome.
that should be going live. So just trying to get some final details wrapped up on that.
Nice. Staying busy. That's
Yes.
really cool. That's cool. And that's one thing I teach my marketing students is like there's so much that you can do yourself. And, just taking a little bit of extra time and a little bit of patience to kind of learn some things. So yeah, you're like a perfect case study for that. Awesome. Cool. Well, great. Well, thank you so much for tuning in again. And
Oh, thank
um, I'm gonna try to get this on YouTube. I tried to get last week's on, but it was just such a mess with the connections. So,
you.
but yeah, we'll be looking for you.
Okay, well, thank you so much.
Let's see. I think she cut out. Okay. Welcome back. I'm sorry. Thank you for hanging on with me. I just as soon as I mentioned something about the connection, it cuts off, and I think Sandra got booted out. Sandra, thank you so much again for joining. We've got lots of new joiners here. If anybody else wants to tune in, I probably have time for one more guest. As you can tell, I like to chat a lot and like dig in deep. So don't be shy. I'm nice. I just am really excited to get to know y'all and share your stories and have this community be so engaging right now. It's very inspiring. So, but yes, Sandra actually had joined us 2 weeks ago, and so it was interesting to hear her story and then get an update this week on how things are going. You're welcome. You're welcome, Sandra. Thank you. So, I was glad to hear a positive update and learned so much from her as well. So, um, one thing that I would kind of like to start doing is sharing more information, kind of building awareness around women in the arts, women in the trades. And one kind of fun way I thought of doing that is to start kind of a weekly trivia question. So I have a couple of resources that I look for very valid statistics. Things like that. So I'm not just making these up out of thin air, but my thought is to give you guys a trivia question and y'all have a week to answer. And then if you send me the correct answer, you'll go into a drawing for some sort of prize. I'm not sure what that prize will be yet, but who cares? You can win bragging rights at this point, and that's worth a lot these days. Um, So this week's trivia question is, what percentage of living artists represented by galleries in Europe and North America are women? And your possible answers are A, 13.7%, B, 28.4%, or C, 46.5%. So again, that was what percentage of living artists represented by galleries in Europe and North America are women. So if you know the answer, send it to me. I would guess via DM or maybe I'll do a post on the trivia and you can answer it there. But if you get the question right, I'll put you into the drawing for the prize next week, whatever prize that may be. So I see some answers coming in. I'm not going to spoil it right now. So, but I will write your names down because you have technically entered. So bear with me. But yes, I thought this would be kind of a fun way to bring some awareness to some of what's going on out there in the art world and beyond our little woodworking community that we have here online. As much as I love it, I got to have some realistic representation here. So welcome. We've gotten some newcomers. If anybody wants to join me for a live chat, let me know or send a request in, and I'll add you on. I have time for one more guest. It's just amazing how fast this time flies. It's a lot of fun. It's like getting to sit down and chat with all of my woodworking friends, um, which I think a lot of us are missing right now, and that's why Instagram is such a valuable tool for a lot of us right now. Um, and when we joined Instagram, I think, gosh, 2012, has it been that long? Um, the end of 2012, so it's been several years, but over the years, you know, I have met some of the most amazing people, made wonderful lifelong friends, um, built so much of our business based off of connections we've in relationships we've built here on Instagram. And it's also a major component of what I teach my students as far as like marketing and public relations and spreading the word and telling their own story as makers and small business owners. It's just been such a great tool, and I'm excited to get into other areas like YouTube, and just see what all is going on out there. Um, if you have any suggestions for people that you'd like to see featured, or any questions you'd like to see answered by anyone, or just any suggestions in general, I'm always open to that. So please feel free to send me a message or leave a comment. Um, so that way, I want to make content that you guys are interested in, and that everyone is interested in and reading about women in the craft. Um, so yeah. So. But don't be shy. I know we've got some new folks in here, so say hello and where you're from, and what you're working on if you're able to work on anything right now. Um, Woodworking wise, I am so wiped out by the end of our daily live stream and getting it added to YouTube and promoted and everything. Between getting that work done and raising the children, it's a little busy right now. So I'd like to get my hands on some wood here soon, though, for sure. So welcome, welcome, welcome. So, and just a reminder, this live stream is every Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Women of Woodworking Wednesdays, and I am now recording these or saving the lives, and we'll be adding them to YouTube. So if you search for Women of Woodworking on YouTube, you should be able to find them on my channel. Other educational opportunities out there. My husband Joseph and I have a daily live stream on his channel, JWT Woodworks, or that's his Instagram handle at JWT Woodworks. Every Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern, we do a furniture making live, and it's been really interesting. Today was a Q&A, and who knows, the past couple times we've talked about business or creativity. Today, Joseph took the reins and talked all about the tools that he likes to make and some of the different stuff that he's made over the years. So even though we're kind of following him through a process of making actually a rocking stool out of black walnut, we do try to change it up and cover different skills and different techniques, and talk about different topics beyond just doing an instructional video. I think and feel like there's a lot of instructional videos out there on how to do different things, and a lot of people have done that really well already. So we're just going to be ourselves and see what happens, because that's tended to worked for us before. So that's what we do Monday through Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And then Mary May is doing a free live stream at 1 p.m. Eastern on Twitch. I'm not sure if she'll be doing that while she is teaching virtually with the Florida School of Woodworking. I'll have to get with her on that. But yeah, we between her and Joseph and I, you can pretty much get a free woodworking education on Instagram right now. And again, I ask if you are doing a live stream or know of any other live streams or kind of virtual educational opportunities that I can share, please don't hesitate to contact me, male or female. At this point, I think all of us need access to any kind of information, and anything we can kind of get our hands on. So don't hesitate to reach out. So go back. See, wow, the time just flies. So yeah. Oh, Friday. So this, love this. Thanks so much. Thank you for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate y'all putting up with me. I mean, like, I just get tired, more and more tired as the evening goes on. But I do have a lot of fun doing it. And I do enjoy talking to y'all and sharing what y'all are working on. And again, if anybody wants to join me, I still have a little bit of time left. So I'd love to have a second guest on tonight. Again, thank you to Sandra from 727 Builds for tuning in again this evening. That was awesome to get an update from her. So don't be shy. Don't be shy. So, but yes, if you don't want to join me for a live conversation, at least say hello and where you're from and what you're working on at the moment. Um, and feel free to promote yourself in the feed too. Um, this is what this is all about. So, all right. Well, if nobody else wants to join me for another little chat, I might have to wrap it up a little early this evening. I kind of blew through my schedule. I must talk too fast. I get really excited about what I do and what I'm sharing with y'all. So it's easy for me to run my mouth. Hello, on Long Island, working on my entertainment center and headphone rack from Penultimate Wood Shop. I hope I pronounced that right. So keep sharing. Oh, so all right, just keep talking. Well, I get kind of awkward whenever I run out. See, in college, I took a lot of public speaking, but it also, I think, sometimes took me out of the habit of like improvising. I was always so prepared. I had my slideshow, I had my notes. I mean, my advanced class course instructor, like one day somebody walked in early and thought I was the instructor. And she was like, no, she could have been though. I was just that kind of, it came naturally to me. But sometimes in situations like this, or even one-on-one conversations, it's hard for me to, it's like, so, all right. Hi, Jazz M. Clean Woodcraft says, hey from Australia, working on carving spoons, just made another spoon holder to display them. Nice, so you can make spoons and then the holder to display them on. That's awesome. That reminds me a lot of our Q&A today, actually, when Joseph was talking about making woodworking tools. You're a woodworker, but then making the tools to do your woodworking and how that provides a different level of satisfaction than maybe building something else because you're making something you're going to make something else with. So I just find it really neat what people can come up with and make for their different creations. I really like carved spoons. If you tune into the Feature Friday, actually you can see all the previous Feature Fridays on my highlights in my Instagram profile. There's quite a bit of carving and also quite a bit of carved spoons. That's something that I really enjoy, and I've not done too much myself because I think if I got like to the very end of a spoon and it snapped, I think my soul would too. I just don't have a lot of patience. And so for me to have the patience that I have to do the little bit of woodworking I do is kind of a lot. So I have a lot of respect for spoon carvers. I just don't do it myself. So, so yeah, so awesome. I'll have to go and check out your spoons. I hope you have some posted. Yeah, so awesome. Cool. Very cool. Well, any other questions or sometimes I feel like these things turn into public service announcements for me. I feel like last week I got some great questions about my book, and I'm happy to talk about them. I'm just very focused on this project being about the other women too. So don't hesitate. If you have a question at this point, I'd be happy to open up the floor. So, but it's isolation has been interesting for us. As I said earlier with Sandra, my husband and I both work from home. I'm also physically disabled slash chronically ill, so I spend a lot of time isolated to begin with. In fact, it was kind of weird for the first couple of weeks. It didn't feel like yes, I didn't go to, acupuncture and, go to the store and do other things I normally would do when I felt well, but it just felt like kind of a natural adjustment. Like, I didn't have to go from working in an office to working out of my living room like a lot of people have. I feel very fortunate that we were able to do that. And it was almost kind of immediate when we were like, we have to do a daily live stream or some sort of thing. Joseph is an instructor at the Charleston Woodworking School, and he is such a fabulous teacher. And I think I probably have like maybe a quarter of the excitement about teaching that he has, and I really, really enjoy it. So that was just kind of a natural thing for us to be like, yep, we're gonna do a live stream, and we're gonna, do it this often, and still teach every day like we like to. So so that was kind of how we just jumped right into that. Um, I feel like Joseph has probably got more time in the shop, obviously, since he's not teaching at the school regularly. So I feel like his personal projects and kind of what his commissions and stuff like that, aside from teaching at the school, are progressing a lot faster, and naturally so. I know that he's been contacting a lot of his students and trying to do stuff kind of over the phone and virtually. And I know a lot of people are trying to kind of bridge that gap right now. And I feel your pain. And I just feel really bad for all the students out there that were just maybe getting into the second half of their year and really getting into their projects and getting their teeth dirty, and having to like leave stuff half finished or even worse, have to take it home and look at it half finished. I mean, that sounds pretty painful, and especially when you're that, starting out and you're really hungry to do things and to learn. I just really feel for those students, and so I hope that everyone will be able to go back to their programs and continue on as planned. That's got to be really hard for a lot of them. So, um, yes, welcome new joiners. Feel free to say hello, where you're from, what you're working on. Um, at this point, I would still take a guess. It would just be a really quick chat. But we earlier tonight had 727 Builds join us, so it was good to catch up with her. She was working on, sorry, I gotta run, keep up the good work. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate that. And for everyone that is tuned in here or watches on YouTube, the Modern Woodworkers Association has a podcast. I believe they release it weekly on Saturdays. And Penultimate, I have such a hard time pronouncing that, Penultimate Workshop is one of the hosts on there, and they are awesome. We've talked about whenever they interviewed me, I think it was a year or two ago, did the 5 questions, and just talked about this project and kind of how I got into woodworking. And so they have some amazing guests, and they have something new coming out just about every week. So go and give them a download and follow their podcast. It's really, and it's fun to listen to in the shop too, especially towards the end of the day. You're just like, all right, I'm gonna listen and laugh, and so it's a good time. So yeah, so that's another good resource. And they've actually been super supportive of the Women of Woodworking project. I mean, having me on and specifically to talk about that and everything, I really appreciated. Another outlet, kind of community outlet, lifting the voice of this project a little bit. And so I really appreciate them providing the platform for that. Hopefully I'll be able to do that more so. Again, doing more videos and things like that, I'm hoping will expand and only grow the audience and appreciation for the people that we feature. So, well, it is getting late, so I'm going to go ahead and do my little rundown. Again, you can tune in here on Wednesdays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, Women of Woodworking Wednesdays, and this will also be added to YouTube. Just search Women of Woodworking or Katie Thompson, Women of Woodworking, and it should pop up. You can also tune in every day at 1 p.m. Eastern to catch Mary May on Twitch. She's doing free wood carving lessons, and then my husband Joseph and I do free furniture making lessons. I'm really getting tired, y'all. We do free furniture making lessons at 2 p.m. Eastern every day on Instagram. He's at JWT Woodworks. Mary May is also offering a virtual class with the Florida School of Woodwork. So go to the Florida School of Woodwork, check them out. You can sign up there. And that is another great opportunity. That is a paid opportunity, though, not free, but still a good virtual opportunity nonetheless. A steal. It's like $100 to get Mary May like to yourself, basically, for, I don't, it's a good deal. It's a good deal. So let's see what else. Oh, trivia question. Don't forget, submit your answers. If you missed it, go back and watch, or watch this on YouTube. Submit your answer, and we'll do the right answer. We'll reveal the answer next week, and hopefully I'll have a prize ready by then. Let's see what else. Anything else I'm missing? Oh yes. Please get in touch if you're interested in being featured or know someone that would be a good fit for being featured. I'm starting to do more writing features again. Talked about this previously, but basically it's like 5 questions, real quick questions. Submit 3 to 5 photos, and looking to feature here on Instagram, and then also doing some written features possibly on my blog or another platform. So please get in touch if you'd like to be featured. Also, continue to use the hashtag Women of Woodworking. I'm pretty much sharing almost everything that I see on that tag one way or another these days. I just know a lot of us are isolated, and the more I can spread the love, I do. So that's also a great way to be featured and possibly get included on the Feature Fridays too. So, all right, I think that's all I had. I've made it through my cheat sheet. Thank you all so much for joining me. And again, we'll see you next Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Take care.